Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa, and I'm one of the Otonabee College student ambassadors this year. To continue on our initiative to acknowledge all the staff here at Trent University, today we'll be interviewing Professor Victoria Reid-De Jong. And Professor Reid-De Jong, do you mind introducing yourself and just telling us a bit about yourself and about what department you belong to here at Trent University?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, first of all, to come and spend some time with you. This is an honor, and I really appreciate your the initiative that you're undertaking to get to know us a little bit on a personal level. So thank you for that. So my first name is Victoria. My last name is Reid-De Jong, and I am a lecturer in the Trent Fleming School of Nursing, and I have been with the university since 2017.
Wow, that's amazing. Is there any specific nursing courses that you teach?
Yeah, so I tend to teach in the upper levels. Well, actually, I teach Nurse 2003, which is a second year course. It's a nursing therapeutics course, which is near and dear to my heart. I really enjoy the sciences, and so having nursing students in second year is really great. And then I get to continue to work with the same students in the 3000 level, where I teach the acute illness course. It's a theory course, and I do the companion clinical course. And then there I get to spend time with students both in classroom and in the clinical learning center as we unfold case studies to help prepare nursing students to be nurses in acute care settings.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing. I know I've personally had you a few times, and I can honestly say just an amazing overall experience being able to learn from you.
Thank you.
Because you teach the upper years, I know a lot of first year students won't get to know you until later on in their Trent nursing career. Do you have any tips and tricks in order for them to get through first year in order to make it to you in the upper years?
Yeah, first year is such a beautiful place to be. It's a place of discovery, and I think one of the things that I would say is enjoy this time. Enjoy this time, this first year of getting to know yourself, getting to know your peers, making those connections with people, finding people that you work well with, whom you can study with and share your ups and your downs. I would also say to be patient with yourself, to allow yourself the time to learn and to grow. And yeah, as I say, just, really embrace that first year experience. And although it may be a little bit different than other students have had in their first year, you have your unique opportunities too. So yeah, I think that's what I would say to first year is just be patient, take it a day at a time, make connections, and support each other.
Exactly. First year is all about building those connections. So that way you have people to support you and guide you through the rest of the time you're here at Trent University.
Lifelong friends really in first year.
I can honestly say that's the best way to go. I've done it myself and it has made life so much better.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm a storyteller. You'll learn as you meet me and study and learn with me that over 30 years ago is when I was in nursing school, and one of the people in my class remains one of my best friends, and this is over 30 years later. And we met on the first day of nursing school in a lab, and as I say, I cherish our friendship, and we went through life together. So when you look across the room and you see some of your peers, just know some of them could be around for a long, long time in your life.
I know, isn't that always the goal in first year? Find somebody that can be stuck with you for life.
Absolutely. What a gift.
So since you usually teach the upper year students, is there a way that you would want your students to describe you to incoming nursing students?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that I would hope that my nursing students find me relational, that they find me approachable, that they find that I'm a listener, and that I always try to hear different perspectives to be able to share, my thoughts if I'm offered the opportunity to share my thoughts. So yeah, I think that's how I would like to be thought of by my students.
And to all the first year nursing students, I can speak first-handedly. Professor Reid-De Jong is very engaging with the class. Her stories, one of the best storytellers you'll ever meet, and she really engages you with the class. So you are in for a treat as you get into your upper year classes.
Thank you, Alyssa.
You're very welcome. So you said you've been at Trent for a very long time. Like, is there anything you enjoy most about the Trent campus or about your time here at Trent?
Well, it's interesting because I spent a number of years working in another school of nursing, and I came to Trent in 2017. I was looking for a change. I was looking for more of an intimate type of environment, and I really liked what Trent had to offer for both students and for faculty. So the small class sizes, even though lectures are larger, I really like the intimacy that comes with seminars. And having that 25 and sometimes even half of that, 12, 13, 14, including myself, of us in one room, just talking and exploring and getting to know each other, that is a real gift. And I really feel like I get to know those of you who are in my class. I feel like I get to know you, and which is great, because even just this week, I've had probably 7 emails from past students who are thinking about going on to graduate work. And they're like, I hope you remember me. And I absolutely remember, because Trent offers that opportunity to get to know you. And so it's not difficult to write these letters, because I easily recall people to my mind, and can speak to what they have offered.
Exactly. Those therapeutic relationships really pay off. They teach you a lot about it in nursing, but you don't realize that it's not just with the patients, but with your peers, your profs, and your instructors that you're really going to build those connections with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So now that we know a lot about you as Professor Reid-De Jong, is there any non-academic projects, like outside of Trent University School of Nursing, that you're working on or would like to work on in the future?
Well, yes and no. It's kind of outside of Trent, because I'm just finishing my PhD. I'm actually going to be defending it this spring. And so I would say outside of Trent, I actually attend the University of Victoria in BC. And my work there is school. I guess you could consider it academic. So it depends on how you look at it. But um, if you're asking about my non-academic interests, I would say I really enjoy biking. I do a lot of biking when weather permits. I love to paint. And so painting on a large scale, like I really enjoy painting houses in decorating, but I also like to paint on canvases. So I like to tap into that creative part of myself, and I love to write. So I like to write narratively, where I like to tell stories. And as you've said, I tell stories in my classes, and I also tell stories on paper.
You just have a very creative mind and you let it just run wild, I see.
Maybe not as wild as I should.
I know you were saying that you do have a project that you're working on. I know you've told us nursing students in class. If you wanted to tell the other students just about the one project I know you said you're working on, the academic, that'd be amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that the question. I love to talk about this. So this is work that is very close to me. I was personally diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, and at that time took a leave of absence from work and underwent treatment. And I was actually already in my PhD when I started, or when I was diagnosed. So when I started my PhD, I was actually my research was going to be directed towards international nursing, because I used to take nursing students to Honduras and to Africa, and I really wanted to focus energy there. But then after I was diagnosed, and had some time just to go through, some part of that illness experience, that journey, I realized that there was some missing pieces in women undergoing treatment for breast cancer, and some of the options that were available to women after having a mastectomy, which I had. And So I switched my research and I decided to look at some alternative options for women post mastectomy. And so I guess this is kind of where my creative lens comes into play, because I started to look to see if there were other options other than wearing a breast form, having nothing, or having reconstruction. And none of those options really appealed to me. So I started to look outside, and I realized that some women were having tattoos inscribed across their chest and to cover the scars and deformity from their surgery. And I thought, well, that's cool. That I didn't even know that was a thing. So I started to look into it, and it really nowhere in the literature was it captured. So I thought, well, I think this is what I want to do. So my research has been spending time with women who have decided to have a tattoo, a mastectomy tattoo, rather than have reconstruction. So that's been my focus of my PhD, and all of my work is done now. Well, for that piece, it's done, and I'll be defending that work, and have been fortunate enough to publish in the area. So I'm grateful for that opportunity, and for the women who spent time sharing their stories with me, and how powerful having a piece of art on their body is to them. Because when they look at themselves, they don't see scars. The women that I interviewed anyway, they don't see the scars, and they don't see the damage, and they don't see what was lost in their cancer experience. They see this beautiful aesthetic piece of art, and they smile, and it brings them joy, and it allows them to reclaim their power and their control that they felt they lost during cancer. And it's just really powerful. It's very transformative. So I plan to continue to work, continue to publish in this area, to research. My next study, I would like to interview the artists and who are inscribing the tattoos. And I'm really interested in the experience of what it's like to have a woman on, in a chair, and what kind of conversations take place when an artist is inscribing the tattoo. Because I imagine they're exposed to maybe aspects of the journey that maybe other people sitting in their chair wouldn't have the same kind of stories, right? So I'm really interested in that narrative piece. And so the work continues, and I'm loving it. It's, as I say, it's close to me. I don't have a mastectomy tattoo myself, but it's definitely there on my radar.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. Just being able to share these individual stories and experiences with the world, and how there's more than one way to empower individuals who have gone through such an experience.
Absolutely.
I know for one, I am very excited to read the published works.
Thank you. Well, it's the women's stories, and they're beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm sure many of us will be looking for when that gets published, so we can join you on this experience that you're taking with these women moving forward.
Thank you, Alyssa.
So after your years of just nursing and your years of teaching as a professor in general, what is the best advice you have ever received, whether as an undergraduate student, as a professor, as a nurse? What's the best advice that you've ever received that you can pass on to other students?
Yeah, I've thought about this question, and I think the best advice that I have received is, don't hold on to things so tightly that they can't be what they're meant to be.
That's beautiful. Do you wanna just elaborate on that and what that means to you a bit?
Sure, yeah. So for me, how I interpret that is, if I try to control everything and navigate things, then I'm not allowing them to be what they're supposed to be, and for me to experience what it is that they're supposed to be, and not to feel like I need to have control over everything, that I need to be perfect in everything, because part of the journey is just allowing yourself to go through and experience what you're experiencing, and not to try to control it.
I think that's very powerful, especially to first year students, because they feel so out of control moving to a new place, experiencing new classes, new experiences, new people. So I think first year students can really benefit from taking Professor Reid-De Jong's advice here.
Thank you.
I just have one more question before I let you go on your day. As we come to the end, what is one thing that you really want your students to know about you?
Oh, that I am passionate about nursing. I think nursing is the best profession out there. We have the opportunity as nurses to experience life with people, and that is the highs and that's the lows. And to have that honor to experience that with people, it's to me it's a very humbling experience, and it's a memorable experience, and it's a memorable experience not just for yourself, but to those you work with. And so I think to remember that it's okay to be passionate about what you love to do, and people see your passion, and it can be contagious. And so I hope that you just allow yourself, wherever you are in your nursing journey, whether you're in school or beyond, find your passions, embrace them, and just let them shine through you, because you are a gift, and you will be a gift to those who you care for.
That is wonderful. I think that was the best way you could have ended our session today.
Thank you. You did a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Reid-De Jong, for joining us today and for sharing with the students who you are as a professor, but more importantly, who you are as a person. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day.
Thank you as well.